I just came from the doctor and I'm not sure I asked the right questions. Maybe I forgot to ask that very important question. Oh my gosh. And then he took a test. What if the test comes back that something's wrong? What am I going to do? How am I going to handle that? What if I'm really sick? What if I have to take medication? Oh, I don't like taking medications. What if the medication has a lot of side effects and it makes me sick? What does it do to the inside of my body? And what if there's nothing that can be done? What if something's wrong that I might lose my life? Oh no. How's that going to affect my husband, my children? How are they going to live without me? How are they going to do without me? Is my husband going to remarry? What's going to happen? Oh my gosh. My name is Carla Matstoff. I am a certified health and life coach who works with moms to overcome anxiety. Does your thinking ever go that way? That was just an example of how your thinking could take over. I know when I suffered from anxiety, that is how my thinking was. I would just have the same thoughts over and over again. Either about the past, something that happened, just reliving it over and over, or it'd be about the future, all the what ifing, constantly the thoughts taking over. It was excessive. The rethinking, the analyzing, the evaluating, the monitoring, always checking my symptoms, the judging, the worry about my health, just about how this is going to affect my family, my life, everything. Like I just could not get rid of those feelings and the thoughts. The overthinking was just way too much. And I know that if you're dealing with anxiety, this is probably happening to you too, because anxiety really leads to a lot of overthinking. But the good news is that you don't have to stay with this. I learned how to break free of my thoughts, to keep them in check, to regain my power. So, how I did that, I got this formula that I read in the Bible. Believe it or not, you would think I read it from some science book, but I didn't. The formula came from the Bible. And that formula was we were told in the Bible to catch our thoughts. And that means to have awareness. So when you start having that rumination, okay, when the thoughts keep going on and on in your mind, catch yourself in that situation. Then bring yourself to the present time. Why? Because if you're in the present time, you're not in the future doing the what ifing, and you're not in the past reliving that scenario over and over. You're in the present time where you can challenge that thought. So your thought, if it's telling you something like you're not loved, you're not worthy, you don't have what it takes, you can't cope, the next step is to find where it says in the Bible the truth that will counteract that thought. So that third step is to reprogram. What you want to do is rewire. Because the one thing science does say is that we can change the way the brain is. We have neural paths in the brain. And we are creatures of habit, but we don't have to stay that way. We can always change the way we think. So replace those old patterns with new patterns, with truth. But then I'm going to throw in another step where you're going to guard. In other words, you're going to press repeat, so to play. You're going to keep watch over your thoughts and press repeat and keep watching those thoughts, like have that awareness and challenge the thoughts and replace. And you're going to do that consistently. And over time, those old automatic thoughts will pass away and you will have a new automatic way of thinking. Even when you are dealing with hard things in life, hard situations, your mind will go to right away those automatic thoughts of, I am worthy. I have what it takes. I can do this. Instead of, I am not worthy and I can't do this and I can't cope. I'm Carla Metzdorf and I am here to help you overcome anxiety. I don't want you to just deal with anxiety and just wish that it would go away, to get by. I want you to overcome it. Follow me, and together we'll make that happen. Be well.